always blew my mind about Tonya Harding's husband hiring people to attack Nancy Kerrigan so Nancy couldn't compete and Tonya could win the Olympics is how they got caught. Well, meet Tonya, and as you can tell, she has a problem. And her problem right here in the picture, Nancy. See, it's simple. Tonya from the trap. Nancy, not from the trap. So the U.S. Figure Skating Committee said, ooh, let's promote Nancy. Tonya said, what about me? They said, what about you, girl? So she said, bet, grinded and became the first person to perform a triple axel, which is this crazy figure skating move. She looked at the U.S. committee. They looked at her. They said, so now, after this, she could never perform that move again. So Nancy starts smoking her in all the competitions. Now, Tonya's husband said, don't worry, I'm finna take care of it. You finna start winning, trust me. And here's where things start to get wicked, so I'm gonna need you to pay attention. You're about to hear about the stupidest crime you've ever heard in your life. Her husband hits up her bodyguard. He says, bro, we need to get rid of Nancy. He said, get rid of Nancy? Her husband says, yeah, I'm finna give you $1,000 so her competition can't skate. He said, I'm her bodyguard. Don't you think they finna catch me? He says, oh yeah, let's give it to somebody else so they can get rid of her competition. So the bodyguard goes to find somebody. He comes back, he says, hey, big bro, they said that $1,000 to injure the top figure skater in the world, always covered by the media, is not enough money. Her husband goes, what about $6,500? He goes, damn, I don't know. Somebody said, I'll do it. Enter these two buffoons. They say $6,500 to injure one of the top figure skaters in the world. Ooh, let me at her. This easy money. This dude says, I'm on it right now. He shows up at her crib. He says, where's she at? They said, bruh, you know she practicing for the Olympics. You know she just not chilling at home. He said, yeah. He said, I knew that. Where she be practicing at? They said, she practices at Detroit. So he flies over to Detroit. He has his car outside of where she practices. He starts moving his car over and over again so nobody could track him. Nancy, her competition, is inside practicing. One of the dudes walks in. Nancy's on camera the whole time. She goes to the back. The dude follows her. Nancy starts screaming. The dude with the camera runs inside and starts filming. Nancy says she just got hit in the knee by some crazy dude. She said he ran that way. Boom, they dip. They start running after the dude. Bro gets trapped. The door to exit is blocked. He headbutts the door's glass and climbs out the window, hops in the whip, and he dips. Now this whole thing is documented, right? So it hits national news. Everybody sees the video of her being injured. They literally solved the case in a matter of days. FBI said, where'd they hit Nancy again? They said, sir, yeah, they hit her on the leg she'd be landing on. They said, oh, can she compete? They said, nah. They said, oh, who don't want her to compete? They said, probably Tonya. They said, oh. Hey, Tonya, can you come in for a second? Tonya said, yeah. They said, Tonya, did you do something to Nancy? She said, no, me? Nah. Now, they interrogated her for about 8 hours. And as the interrogation went on, they kept unveiling more information to her. They told her, Tonya, you sure you had nothing to do with this? She said, absolutely nothing. They said, yeah. So there was a car out front of the practice facility that kept moving over and over again. Remember that car that kept moving? They said, yeah, they were trying to stop suspicion from being caught onto them, but that actually made us more suspicious. We tracked the plates, we went over to their crib, and they snitched almost immediately. Tonya said, that still ain't got nothing to do with me. They said, hold on, Tonya, I ain't finished. You know your bodyguard? She said, yeah. They said, yeah, your bodyguard had been telling everybody what happened. He said he masterminded the whole thing, he plotted the whole thing. We went to him, and he snitched almost faster than the first guys. So you got to tell us right now. She said, what he say exactly? They said, he said it was all your husband that did it. She said, oh, well, that's not me. They said, yeah, but you met with them at one point, and we have in your handwriting Nancy's practice facility address. You have any clue why that would be in your handwriting? She said, actually, I do have something to say. Lock in, y'all. She said, remember I was trying to tell y'all about my husband earlier? Look at the TikToker's video. Does he look like somebody who in his right mind? I told y'all that he beat me every night. I told y'all that he be putting to my head all the time. In fact, I filed so many reports about him. I'm not with him. And when your federal agents was guarding me one time, he walked right past y'all and me right in front of everybody. So excuse me if I didn't volunteer information because I didn't trust y'all to protect me. The FBI said, oh, Well, we still gonna charge you for lying, but nothing else. You good? Now, Tanya's husband claims that he convinced her to go through with it. She says she found out this happened after the fact, but was too scared to say anything because, as you can see, he's a psychopath. The media didn't care because what's a better story? She couldn't compete in the national championship. Tonya wins the national championship. Everyone goes, ew. But Nancy said, I ain't going out like that. She was really injured, but she said, I'm competing in the Olympics anyway. She locked in, trained, and was able to compete in the Olympics along with Tonya. At this point, they're looking at Tonya and they was thinking of revoking her Olympicness. Now they're both able to compete, so the showdown begins. Now, as Tanya's skating, her lace malfunctions and the crowd is going crazy on her. So they let her compete again. Despite this, she gets 8th place. Nancy, on the other hand, is winning the entire competition until the last second when she loses. As for Tonya, as soon as she came back for the Olympics, the figure skating committee banned her for life. And they took away that championship she won when Nancy couldn't compete. They said it was a little suspicious. We don't like the sportsmanship around it. In the end, they sit the two girls down for an interview. This was Nancy's face the entire time. She was not having it. Tonya was saying, I truly had nothing to do with it, and I'm sorry that happened to you. Nancy's response was, okay, girl.